marketing business and earn unlimited income from anywhere in the world. Am I a superhero? Nah, but do I possess superpowers? Oh yeah. To literally create income out of thin air with nothing but a laptop and a cell phone and a half-decent Wi-Fi connection. Most people who start listening to this podcast don't hit pause until they either fire their boss or reclaim their God-given right to wake up whenever the hell they want to. So what are you waiting for? Let's get to work. Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Dave Sharpe. Welcome to the Legendary Marketer podcast show interview series. I'm so happy to have our guest today, who is secretly one of my favorite people inside of our community. And the reason why that is just very simply because she really embodies a humble mentality, and also is somebody who just takes daily consistent action. And I'm going to talk about that here, why that's so important here over the course of the next few minutes with you guys. But I want to welcome Linda Bamba to the show. Welcome, and we're so glad to have you here.
Hey Dave, great to be here.
Cool.
I think this is your third podcast?
It is. We had an intro, we had Kai, and then now you. And so I'm just so grateful to have you on. I really am.
I saw the one you did with Kai when you posted it in the group, so I'm ecstatic to be here.
Yeah, well, I'm excited to have you, and I want to just talk. The thing that's different about this show than I think anything else out there is that there's so many gurus and so many people who are teaching digital marketing and internet marketing and online marketing and affiliate marketing, but very rarely will people actually show and bring people on who are actually students and success stories of their product, right? And so what we're doing here is we're bringing on, average. I think you're an ordinary person doing extraordinary things, but you're somebody who, I don't think you're somebody who's real from our community, from our system, from our teachings, who's actually using it to make money. And over the course of the last few months, 4 months, 5 months, however long, 6 months since you've been involved with us, you have generated how much in earnings in your business?
A little over 17,000.
Okay, a little over 17,000. Now, hopefully anybody who was kind of leaning back like this in their chair, or who was like, I'll give this about, maybe 2 minutes, and then I'm going to, hopefully they're listening a little bit closer now. And what was your previous, go ahead, I didn't mean to interrupt.
I was going to tell you, I've already, by August, I doubled what I made from last year. And before we hit December 31st, I've tripled what I've made. I'm going to quadruple next year I'll say that now.
And these are realistic goals that you're setting, which I want everybody to pay close attention to, because there's some unique things that I'm already picking up from what you're saying. And what I know about you is, that you're consistent, and I want to talk about that here in a second. But let's focus on what you just said. You've got some clear goals, and they're realistic goals. And so tell me a little bit about how you actually come up with the goals that you have for your business.
Well, I looked at what I made last year, and I do have some other income. It's not much. The bulk of what I've made this year is from Legendary. So going with that, and I'm probably going to need a little guidance of how much traffic I should be buying to get there. But if I buy some traffic every month, and that's what I've been basically doing since I got in here, I can keep increasing my income. And the fact that I just made a little over $4,000 last week. And that was from paid traffic, and I probably made another $400 or $500 from my market, my list, social media. So I'm constantly bringing people in, so I know that my income will keep increasing. And this just converts. No matter where I put it, I can put it in my email, I can put it on Facebook, I can put it, buy some traffic. It converts.
Yeah. Well, I can't really fix cars that well. I'm not the best chef in the world, but I can create high converting offers and sales systems that generate lots of revenue. That's my magic. And so I'm glad that you can leverage that, right?
Right, and it's out of everything I'm doing, it's the thing that converts the best. I put it in front of somebody, and I don't get too many objections.
Yeah, so I was on the phone yesterday, and occasionally I'll be on the phone with some of our members because what better use of my time than to actually serve people, whether that be on a one-on-one basis or whether that be on a one-to-many basis. But I was talking to somebody and they said, "Hey, man, I'm bought in because of your just the authenticity." And so there's a lot of things that are happening here in Legendary that make it so powerful. One is the marketing. Two is the authenticity with, even for this interview, this flannel actually has paint on it. It's not my best,
Attire?
it's not my Sunday's best, but you know what's unique about it is that it's just what I decided to wear today, and it's something that I used to wear when I worked construction back, 8 years ago or so. I actually wore this very flannel, so I think it's kind of cool in that respect. That it's just none of us have to try to be something that we're not.
Right.
Also, there's kind of a cool story behind the flannel. But then our community, and we have real success stories, and something that I love so much about what we're doing is that we've launched this company and are growing this company organically with real people, not people which I want to zero in on this a little bit with you, not people who have tons of experience, not people who have made hundreds of thousands or millions in other businesses or ventures, but people who are new to digital marketing, people who have never made money before, people who are actually starting from scratch coming from various different backgrounds. Some are young, some are older, some are baby boomers, some are middle-aged, etc. So tell us tell us a little bit about your past. You were ultra successful and have made millions of dollars in digital marketing, right?
No. I started working. I lost two jobs. I lost my first job in 2011. I worked in cancer research for 16 years. Didn't know anything about this. I don't know, but I did know people were making money on the internet. When I couldn't find a job, I just went to Google. I didn't know anybody. I didn't know this industry even existed. I Googled make money online. I bought a website. I set up some pay-per-click ads. It did drive traffic to the website, but nothing converted. I spent about $3,000, and that wasn't working. And one night, when I in my frustration looking for a job, I ended up on Facebook and I clicked an ad that said 100% commissions, and that was my first that I ever heard your name. I ended up joining that, and the people that I first met, they weren't professional marketers. They were telling me you don't need an autoresponder. Go slam your link around the Facebook groups. And that's what I did. I didn't know anything else. And I did that for like a year. And then I thought, I got to find somebody who that's had success. And then I got involved with a training platform that I know you're familiar with. And I started it, and that was 2013. I made $1,000 online in 2013. I made $150, just to keep it real with people, I made $150 in 2012. I made $1,000 in 2013, and it started to go up a little. And then end of last year, I decided I got to find something. And you were really like the first person that started saying, I would listen to you on a Facebook Live about if you don't have something on the back end, you're doing solo ads or Facebook ads, that you can't make at least $1,000, you're never going to be able to cut a profit. And then I said, I got to get into something. And then you were launching this, and I thought, I just got to figure this out. 'Cause if I didn't do this, I'd be in foreclosure again. I've been in foreclosure twice.
Wow.
And this is, I don't want to say, this is earn while you learn. But, I do have some warm market. I can post things on Facebook, and I'll get some people to buy. I signed somebody yesterday that she saw something I posted on Facebook. I sent an email out to my list, but my consistency, I've been emailing my list every day for over 2 years. I can send something out and I'll get a sale. I sent an email Thursday with your video that I happened to be in. I got 3 signups from that. And then I got another 8 from the traffic I was running. Very powerful.
Very powerful. So first of all, what an amazing journey. Congratulations. I'm really, and this is bringing up some emotions for you, huh?
It is. I mean, being in foreclosure, I've lost all my retirement money. Just trying to pay my mortgage. Those couple of years I didn't have any income. I found a job in 2014 that was $12.50 an hour. I lost that. I was grateful for it every day. It kept me alive. I had AWeber emailing me every month. They're getting ready to cancel my account because my credit cards have all been maxed out. And if I didn't find this, I mean, there's a lot of, this is business. There's a lot of crap out there. I've worked for people who were that, and it's just to find somebody, who's going to tell you the right thing. Yeah. There's a lot of gurus in the space. I've learned some stuff from them. But if you ask somebody a guru a question, they say, well, that's a secret. That doesn't help me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So no, I mean, it's just, and the community, the Facebook group, the fact that you do have a coach, there's a couple times I can message Anthony and say, do you have a, just to get some direction. And I've spent a lot of money. I've spent over $80,000 since I started this. Some of it I got ripped off. I mean, I just never gave up, but most people quit.
Right.
Most people will not hang around here as long as I have. I just broke 500,000 views on YouTube. Wow. I mean, I just kept cutting short 3-minute videos. I wasn't making much money. And then, people would say, they'd be looking to do something. I just give them the video. The video really got me out there. Right. And being consistent, and mindset too. I gotta say, mindsets. What you've put together here, it still blows my mind. I mean, the traffic sources. You can buy some really bad solo ads.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So let's talk. So you're bringing up all kinds of things that we could go a million miles deep on.
Right.
I want to, there's so much power in your story and what you do and just your daily method of operation. I want to just delve into that a little bit. So let's just recap up until this point. You did $150 in 13,
right.
$100 in 14. You didn't even mention 15 or 16. So obviously those weren't record-breaking years for you.
Right.
2017, you joined Legendary. You've been working consistently. Obviously, you just said you have 500,000 views. So you've been doing some work during those years.
Right.
Just consistently continue to create content. You knew me from past years as well. So you have been inspired by the message and the idea of building a digital marketing business. But then you join Legendary, and it's almost like something clicks. First of all, something clicked. The offer converts, the back end converts, the system, the community is powerful. That's one thing. We know that. We know that the system works. The system can work for everybody, but you've got to work it, and you've worked it. So let's talk about the difference that you've made, because that's what's important here. You have over the past, I want to talk about the daily videos. So I've been talking with a lot of people about the difference between paid and free strategies, and some people think they have to choose. They don't realize that it's all the same thing.
Right.
Even if you're running paid traffic to bring new people in, those free strategies, those daily videos, those can be used both to build a new audience, but also to build relationship with the people that have now come into your world through paid advertising. That's obvious. I think people can understand that concept. What I think people have a challenge with is getting over themselves and getting out of their own way to see the long-term value of doing videos and creating that, and then actually following through and doing it consistently. So can you talk a little bit about how you've done that, how you've overcame those challenges of what I have to say doesn't matter, or this is a waste of time, or whatever negative self-talk might have come up in your head? How have you overcome that and been consistent with that? I think that's huge.
I think, me, part of it's my pain, because my pain has pushed me. And I heard Barry Hagman, I think one of the first things I ever got on, he said, your pain will push you, your vision will pull you. And for me, it's like, if I don't make this work, I'm so screwed. It's the truth. My family thinks I'm crazy. You never make any money. Some of them know that I did lose some money when I first got on. And of course, that means everything you do, you're not going to make any money. And when I got on Facebook, I thought, these people, I worked with a lot of MDs. These people are making a lot of money. Why not me? And I worked my ass off for a job. I started working when I was 17. Why not do it here? And I just, I know basically if I could cut a video every day, email my list, meet 10 new people, and do some personal development. Listen to, when I was still commuting, I'd listen to stuff in my car. I got, my iPod, I download stuff. I listen to it when I go to bed, and, I put it in when I go to sleep at night, because you just can't get on a wake up call. And I saw other people doing it. I know people that have been in the space. It took them 12 years to get to like 6 figures or making anything.
So you just said something I think is wildly valuable, and I hope that people really understand the power of what you're revealing right now, because you're laying out everything that you've done and holding nothing back, and I appreciate that, and I know the people who are going to watch this do as well. But you just laid out essentially a daily method of operation, the way that, and once again, it's realistic. It's not wake up, write a book, shoot a movie, meet 1,000 people, and make $1,000. It's get up, you shoot a 3-minute? Is that what you're?
3-minute how-to videos.
Okay, 3-minute how-to videos. You write an email, and you have a goal of meeting 10 new people online.
Right.
Is there anything else? I mean, that just seems like such a realistic goal, and when you do that over time, that compounds. Is there anything else that you can say about how you came up with that formula?
So the first people I met online that was a mentor. There's somebody I met in a training platform, and she said it a million times. I mean, Diane Hockman said that a million times, and most people just won't do it. It's easy. You can do it in 2 hours a day. And I'm doing it on Facebook, meeting 10 new people. It's not that, even if you're working a full-time job, I would find things, time in my day to just squeeze it in. And the personal development, when I was in my car commuting, when you go to bed at night, if you can't do this part-time, you can't do it full-time. And squeeze it in I worked 2 years, I worked that job, and I could, if you can't fit those kind of things in, it's not that much. It doesn't take that long. If you want to get on Facebook and start interacting a lot with people, that's going to take more time. I didn't have a paid marketing budget for a long time. So I would get on Facebook and just start talking to people, and I could generate like 20 leads, but that's more time consuming.
So Linda, I'm willing to, I hear you. You've got the results. I hear you, shoot, but I don't have anything to say. I don't have a story. Nobody cares about what I have to say. What would you say to somebody who says that?
I would say you do. More than 90% of the people out there take something you learned and do a video. Maybe you want to do a blog post, but I just think video marketing, especially with Facebook Live, because they're paying more attention to it, and just go and share, go live for like 3 minutes. It doesn't have to be long. Because live streaming is really, go live. And I'm even doing that on YouTube now. But just take something you learn. If you don't know, go watch somebody else's. You don't have to steal something and just put your own spin on it and just create a piece of content. I said, find somebody you like to listen to. And because a lot of people are going live, go down their page. You can find and just take some notes. If you're on a webinar, take those notes. If you go to an event, take your notes. You can come back. There's tons of content in there you can make. Yeah. I was on the webinar we did last night. I'm going to do a live this afternoon with what Larry was talking about.
Right.
It's in my notebook.
That guy's a wealth of knowledge that you could bring 20 lives, 23-minute videos out of an hour talk that he does.
Right.
And that's just, that guy's been doing, personal development and teaching and training for 10 or 15 years. So let's talk about the consistency aspect. We had a mastermind in Tampa.
Right.
My main topic of that entrepreneur mastermind was to focus on 3 things. Number 1, clarity. Number 2, consistency. And number 3, congruence. Those 3 things. And so For you, I see that shining. I see that shining. You're clear with what you're doing. You're not all over the place. You know, you're clear about what you're promoting, that you like it, that you're all in, and you're clear about your daily method of operation. You're clear about your goals. For everything from your goal in 2018 to your goals of what you want to accomplish every day. Consistent. So you're consistent with this. Every day you do it, right?
Right.
There's not a day that goes by that you don't accomplish one of, at least all or some of your daily method of operation.
Yeah, I've been working 7 days a week.
Okay. So third, congruence. It's not the marketplace has, and here's what I mean by that. The marketplace has begun to trust you because you're congruent with this. Whether your family believes it or not, but they believe that you believe, because,
right.
So you're congruent with your message. You're talking about internet marketing. You're talking about digital marketing. You're giving value to the marketplace, and you're doing it in a way that is not this company, that company, all over the place. And this week I'm doing one thing, and the next week I'm doing something else. Every day you're just focused on giving value. So you've created a congruent message. How big has being consistent been in your business, and what have you done when you felt like it wasn't paying off to continue to keep going?
The consistency for me has been huge. I mean, if you can be consistent, you'll separate yourself out, because most people they can't stick to something for a couple days. And if people know you're going to go live every day, they're looking for you. And people don't, and I think a lot of this is belief. People don't believe they have value they can put into the marketplace. And then they get all hung up and they don't go do something. And because I try to, people on my team, I said, you got to be consistent. I said, you can't go do a Facebook Live a day or two and then go off for a week or two and come back. I said, you'll never get any traction. I said, because you want to get to a point where you get traction and you hit critical mass. Because I have people coming to me. I mean, I don't have to chase anybody. I don't have to go back and follow up with somebody 20 times that still hasn't made a decision. Because if they don't sign up, I'm on to somebody else. Right. I'm not saying not to follow up, but because I got so many people coming towards me, it's been huge.
You've become the hunted instead of the hunter.
Right, right.
Well, I've been talking about that for years, and that is the epitome. That is the ultimate. That is the place that any business wants to be. Right. That is the place that any human being wants to be. You want to become the hunted, opposed to that is authority. And the interesting thing is, you're working from home. You've not made millions of dollars. You have just transitioned from being the hunter to the hunted through one thing and one thing only: being consistent, and that's power.
Right. And it's and I just feel like with Legendary, to me it's kind of like gravy, because to be able to give somebody something it's going to convert. And then just to have something on the back end. I know everybody's they're going to come in, they just want to do the club thing, and that's all they're going to want to do. I get that. But to be able to know, and that you can, because you can't scale free. I can scale this. I mean, I think I need some guidance on how to scale it the right way. But I wasn't able to do that before. I got stuck at making like $1,000 a month. And I know a lot of people would be loving to be making $1,000 a month, but I didn't come here just to make some extra money.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Well, most people have, dreams and goals of doing more than 1,000 a month. And so, but I think the point that I think most people miss is this journey, this in-between part that you've worked on. For years, the same thing happened with me. I'm still I'm still creating consistency. I'm still doing the regular content.
Right.
And the next step for you, and I'm just going to give you this right now, is the way to scale is to create content that lives on and on and on. Right?
Right.
That's the way to scale. So for example, I wrote the Legendary Marketer book.
Right.
that's an example of scaling in a way that it will live on and on. So it's almost a viral way, right? Because who doesn't want a book on their shelf?
Right.
So your next step, it's not just about driving paid traffic, although you are at the place to where you can drive paid traffic and it will back out, because on the back end you've got the follow-up strategy of the connection and the relationship building.
Right.
So Facebook ads now, you're at a place to where that's a smart strategy for you, but it will be the smartest strategy for you if you can create content that will and develop your story in a way that will stick with people for months and years down the road. And let me give you one example, and then we will continue to talk about this off this webinar and at our events and one-on-one, because I want to see you win in a major way.
Okay.
Here's what I mean. So the gentleman who published me in Forbes, I was on an anniversary party, anniversary vacation with my wife, and I got an email that said, "Hey, it's Robert from Forbes." Now, that's an email that you open no matter if you're getting married, right? Because who doesn't open that email?
Right.
And so he interviewed me. It was totally organic, totally out of the blue, and I was honored. And what I learned, because I actually just met him. He lives over in Europe, and he came over, and I recently met him. We sat down, we had dinner, and I learned the story behind why he reached out to me. So here's what happened. He had a business, and he ended up leaving the business. He had a business with a business partner and ended up walking away from the entire thing.
Right.
Starting from scratch. And he was an author, and he had been working for years on SEO products, and he had authored a couple of books, but nothing really major in the internet marketing space.
Mm-hmm.
But he wrote, because of his knowledge, he wrote for Forbes, an entrepreneur, about internet marketing. So he said, I'm going to commit the next 12 months to taking this internet marketing, my connection with Forbes, an entrepreneur, and I'm going to just get into as many people's back pockets as I possibly can. And he said, who can I connect with? Because he had to start somewhere. Well, out of everybody, all of the huge marketers online, he thought of me to reach out to and connect with. And the reason why was because of my story. Because of my story. Now, a lot of people think for me that I'm this, great, technical marketer and copywriter, and I am. I can do those things. I can build videos and structure them and write copy and all that. But what I've mainly mastered is the art of storytelling. And I've taken my life, which is some people think I've got this unique down by the river story that they don't have, but really I've taken a small window of my life, which was around the age of 24, when I came off of being homeless, and I've magnified that one defining moment in my life. There's been a lot of defining moments, Linda. There's been a lot of defining moments in my life, but I've taken that because you got to remember that somebody's got to be able to listen to a story in 3 minutes or less and it make an impact.
Right.
Listen to a life story.
Right.
So that's the art of storytelling that most people don't really understand, is they have to take a moment in time that was a defining moment, and they have to magnify that moment, and that's what I've done. That moment when I was 24, when I was coming off of being addicted to drugs, being homeless, I slept on my dad's couch, I got on my feet, and I decided that wasn't what I wanted to do forever. I wanted to build something bigger and better for my destiny. And then I got online, and the rest is internet history. That's the story that I've told over and over again. And so that's another example of content that has lived on for years. Does that make sense?
Totally. And I've been trying to do more on my story and like in my content and stuff, because I was watching you when you were talking and you were saying about that, to try to take your story and put it more in your content. Because I did do one video just kind of talking about my story, but to get it out there more. And I think I need to find my defining moment and magnify that.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. And part of your defining moment, or one of them you shared on this call, which was being in foreclosure. And it's really not about what happened, it's about how you felt. And so people can relate to the feelings that you felt, and that's what you're trying to identify, because you're really speaking to people who are in a situation to where they're ready for change. And it doesn't matter what industry, this works across all industries, that they're fed up with something in their life and they're ready for something bigger and better. And so that could be you were in foreclosure, that whatever it is in your story, everybody has many defining moments, because we almost have these moments to where we make impactful decisions every day, right? But we have to choose one, because telling your story is really about, it's more about simplicity and elegance than it is about writing a book on it and telling it over. It's really more about perfecting the story and telling it a million times than telling a million stories.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Totally. No, and I'm trying to massage it in, but to say how I felt, I make jokes about it now, but when the sheriff was at my front door, I mean, I was not laughing when he served me with papers. I mean, I can't even describe how bad that felt. You know, I just wanted to get him out of my front door. Neighbors that you never talk to are all coming out like, what's going on? They saw his car.
Why does Linda have cops at her front door?
Yeah.
Right.
And I make jokes about it now, but it was horrible.
Sure.
You know,
embarrassing. And the more that you can connect and become vulnerable with those feelings, those things that normally we would try to hide from society, the more that you can become connected and vulnerable and okay with those feelings, that's the stuff that people really want. They want the juice. They want the dirt. They want to see somebody talking about the things that they're afraid to talk about, because that's what's inspirational to them.
And I've had some people reach out to me. Somebody that, she didn't say she was in foreclosure, but she said, how did you get out of that? And I said, well, I don't really think it's something you get out of. I mean, I was fortunate because I got approved by a state program. Otherwise, I would be out of my house. And I did go get a job. And she didn't get, but she said, it's just to see that you overcame it. Because people do want to see that you overcame it.
Sure.
That you got out of this situation, because a lot of people, it goes back to the mindset stuff.
Yeah, but my message to somebody who's still in it, now you were in it. So let's end on this note, because I want to make sure that everybody who's listening, who, regardless of whether they've overcame their situation or not, what kept you going when you had not overcome it, and what did you focus on talking about in the content that you focused on creating when you were not on top of the world, which right now maybe your humble opinion would be you're climbing in that direction. I would say, wow, it's much different than when the world was on top of you, right? How you felt before. What did you focus on content wise in daily method of operation when you did feel like the world was on top of you, so you could get to this point now to where you're climbing to be on top of the world?
I focused on just giving out value to, I knew people were, if I was struggling to figure something out to do, that if I did a piece of content, I didn't talk about any of it while I was going through it. I don't think you should until you overcome it. And didn't say anything. And a couple of people know, and just kept going, because I just saw other people making money. I'm thinking, damn, I've worked my ass off my whole life. I work a lot harder than most people. And in this space, I'm not going to have anybody dictate to me how much money I can make.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine going back and working a job at this point. I can't even.
You're ruined.
Yeah.
You're ruined.
I don't have an alarm clock. I don't need it. If the weather's crappy, I don't have to worry about driving 45 minutes. It's just, I don't think I could go back to it. And I'm past that too. And this job market sucks. It does.
So you're living the digital marketing dream, and that doesn't mean particularly that you're sitting on a beach, traveling the world, sipping out of coconuts, or riding around in a Rolls Royce. It means that you have freedom from total financial ruin and pain,
right,
from doing things that you hate every day.
Right.
You have freedom from that, and you are becoming financially stable. You're in the process, and for many people, they want to build a business and just get out of debt. They want to build a business and just earn $50,000 a year.
Right.
It's not all about making $1 million a month or a second or whatever.
Right.
But so many, in my opinion, idiots make it out to be. That's why I love our community, that we have a lot of real people with that, and everybody that I talk to, they really have real goals. They just want real things. They want to be home on Saturday. They want to exactly what you just described. So I honor you. I congratulate you. I appreciate you. And I'm so happy to have you in our community and as a leader in Legendary Marketer. And I want to give you the floor to share any final last words of wisdom with somebody who may be listening to this and just may need to hear just this last piece of wisdom from you to keep going, or to really make a decision to be consistent, or just take the leap of faith to jump out and just do it.
I mean, don't give up. I mean, if you're having a bad day, I mean, I've wanted to quit. I can't tell you how many times. It's worth it. And you can't, I don't have a crappy boss anymore. I don't have to listen to somebody tell me what to do. I mean, just that autonomy. If I need to go do something, I mean, I can write my own paycheck, and I'll say it to you, Dave. I mean, you're going to be giving me one of those checks, those big checks. We'll do 6-figure, 100,000 first, and then we'll work on the rest.
Yeah, and I want to put a ring on your finger, and not to marry you, but to $100,000 and for that $1 million.
Okay. All right. I'll hold you to it. You hold me to it, and I'll hold you to it.
Will do. Will do.
All right. All right. Well, thank you for putting this together. I mean, I was looking for you, and I knew you left the industry, and then you kind of popped back up on Facebook.
Well, here I am. And
here you are. Yeah.
I wouldn't rather be doing anything else. And so I'm living my dream every day, too, watching you living your dream. And getting rich and being successful is no fun to do it alone.
That's right. Thank you so much.
And so there's many ways that I know how to do that, but it's just not as fun. And so this is an amazing thing for both you and me. And so again, congratulations. We'll see you on stage. We'll see you on Facebook.
Okay. Thank you.
And everybody plug into what Linda's doing, because she's a shining role model example of what is possible. Not that she's perfect, because she's far from perfect. We all are. She's a shining example of what's possible when you just stay consistent. So that is a wrap, guys. It's a Legendary Marketer podcast interview series, and my hope is one day that we get to feature you on this show. All right, Linda. See ya. Thanks.
All right, thank you.